What's up, everybody? I'm gonna talk about trading today, right? I must say, I have a bit of experience with trading. I have had years where I did better than the pension funds, but I've also had years worse than the pension funds. If you watch the full thing, you'll have a bunch of free game. So, um, so come watch, but like, don't start buying Tesla stocks at the 2 minute mark, right? I wanted to play arms race, but I joined the game and there was some fucking Russian blaring in my ear. And it was just too fucking active, right? But let's get right into it. Jeepers creepers. Hey, yes sir, yes sir. Yes sir. Okay, so I use TradingView, and TradingView is a great app. It also shows the tiers of stocks. And what a tier of a stock is how much it's updated pretty much. So if it's a D tier stock, it's not that updated. If it's A tier stock, it is like Google, for example. Currently there's a very interesting company, Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing something. And they have a D tier stock, right? So you don't really get the right updates. You see a lot of gaps in the chart. How to read them charts, right? I think it's very easy. Genuinely, it's way easier than you think. So you have resistance, right? And that's like a line through the middle. And then if it gets there, a company cannot grow bigger than its actual value, right? Well, sort of. Of course, it's like what it does too. But with the resistance line, you usually notice that there needs to be like a thing of innovation for the resistance to break, right? Or just a very good like shoot up in price if a big like broker buys it or something. So that's resistance. And then you can usually get the trend of a stock by just like I do it by my thumb, but you can just line up like if you want to know in a week or in a month, you can line up the earliest point you want to measure and the latest point you want to measure, and then take the lowest and the highest of that, actually the lowest two and the highest two, and then put a line on it. So if the stock is like this, now we have a line like this, and then here's a cross, and it's probably gonna go down since it's aiming up, right? And of course, like don't buy things you don't want to buy. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make. It's like, oh yeah, I hate like oil. Like for me, for example, right? I'm not too big on oil. I might buy back in, to be fair. But I think it's gonna be a huge peak and then a forever fade out, right? But if you don't have like the right mindset on it, if you're like, I think gold is fucking overpriced, and then you're like, oh wait, but it does usually go up, there's a pretty big chance you're gonna be wrong, right? I feel like you should follow your instincts on trading, and you're gonna be interested in specific things that you can just find back on brokers. A stock can have momentum. So if it goes like this, there's a very small chance for it to go there. There's a way higher chance for it to go like that, right? That's momentum. So I use Trading 212 mostly. A good teacher like introduced trading to me then, and it had like a training account. And I would use the training account. You start with like 20k, and I got it down to like 5k, and then I made it back up to 10. And then I kind of forgot about it for a couple of years. But that's my biggest recommend. Start with a training account, and then if you feel confident like in the markets, then you switch. But also don't be scared losing like all your trading money, right? You're new to this shit. Like either you're gonna have like 1,000 fake euros or $50 of your own. Like 10% of $50 is $5. That is already quite a big increase of percentage. So why not just use fake money for the while you're learning, right? If you want to trade correctly, you don't have to think yourself. I use ground news and stock twits, for example. If you can cheat, right? So you open stock twits, you're like, okay, let me go Tesla. And then you just see like how many people think bearish and bullish of that. Bearish is going down and bullish is going up. I use ground news to see what globally is happening in the news. I also have it like very set on stocks and shit. I usually trade in companies, right? I don't like commodities that much. I think commodities are a weird thing. Like I genuinely don't trade gold or silver. I know I've been kind of getting over that. But I do think gold is eventually going to just drop half the price because it's just a pretty metal, right? Of course we use it for things, but we don't even use it that much for things. Haha! But we don't use it like that much for things, so I think it's overvalued, but also it's a pretty safe bet to keep going up for now, right? So I would rather trade in McDonald's. I traded McDonald's, I made $400 and then E. coli got found in them burgers, so I pulled out. Shit like that. And yeah, I have the same thing with crypto. I think crypto is sick. I love crypto. Crypto is the coolest thing humans have done in a good little while. It's just very underused, right? So it's all one chart. It doesn't really matter what coin you buy. But you have an app called Bots Capital. And before you invest like into crypto and it tries to make money for you. So go Bots Capital. It's a really good app. It goes for $50 a bot. And you can just buy a couple and forget about it and then see what happens. Pretty much. Last thing I want to touch on, I can do while we're in the menu. Brokers. What do you think makes a chart move is wrong. No. When you buy a stock, it doesn't impact the chart. When you buy a stock, it impacts the chart of the person already owning that stock being your broker. No single, maybe a couple, but no brokers actually give you the rights to the stock. You only buy you pretty much buy the profit, right? So if you buy in for 100, it goes to 115 and you cash out, you have made $15, but the entire time the ownership hasn't moved. It's still in the hands of the brokers usually. But this can also depend on the broker, but I haven't seen any broker that doesn't do it this way. So you do not own the stock. And I think I'm gonna leave it there. That was a good little 17-minute talk. I'm gonna cut this down to hopefully like 12 or so. And put it on Mitch the Mouse. Hey, it's your boy Talk Dog on Mitch the Mouse. What the heck? So many channels, man. Not even a single subscriber. No, probably, or whatever. Like, subscribe, start trading, faggot. Bye.